In this video, I'm going to share with you why your sales training is failing, isn't taking, and isn't getting any results. Hi, my name's Dwayne Huff. I'm a sales trainer, performance coach, and I'm going to tell you why the sales training you may be investing in for your people, or the sales training you've gone through as a sales leader, a sales professional, a business owner, or an entrepreneur simply isn't going to get you results. And really, there are 4 components that go into making sure that the training you're investing in, whether that's product knowledge or sales training, selling skills training, does take consistently and produces the consistent results you're looking for. By the way, like I said, my name is Dwayne Huff. I'm a 14-year sales professional who then launched out on his own to start his own business, ended up starting 4 businesses, and guess what? I sell every single day just like you do, right? Whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, sales leader, or sales professional. So what I'm going to share with you today and all my videos that I'm going to create about selling and how to lead and manage your sales professionals, understand that this is stuff that is time tested. I've done myself, my clients have done, the people that I coach done, and I've learned from some top minds in the entrepreneurial space, in the selling space. I've worked with over 200 companies across multiple industries. And so I'm going to share with you the things that I've done, the things that they've done, and how you can get the best results, especially from your sales training. Now, as you see on my screen back here, one of the first components, if you want sales training that you do to actually take and get results, there has to be good content. Now, where do you get good content? Well, you don't know me yet, or maybe you're returning to my channel and you do, but if you want some free training that will help your salespeople get more consistent results, I'll give you that free of charge. All you got to do is go to the link below in the description, put your name and email in, I'll send it over to you. Not only will I send you training to help them get better results and sell more effectively, but I'll also share with you some training that shows you the top 7 critical mistakes that sales professionals make that stops them from making more sales. But the first thing that has to be in place is good content. Now, where did I learn all of this stuff? Well, along the way, of course, but one of my mentors who owns a multi-million-dollar training company, he long story short, his name was Brad, and he was in car sales, and then he went into sales training in the car dealership and was doing a great job getting phenomenal results in that dealership. But then he decided to go off on his own as a sales trainer for the car industry. And what he found when he got out there is that the content didn't change, but the results weren't the same. He wasn't getting the same results outside of the dealership that he was getting inside the dealership. And after trial and error and beating his head up against the wall, he finally figured out what it was. One of the components is missing that needs to be in play, and I'll share with you that here in just one second. But we have to have a foundation of good content. So whether it's my content or somebody else's content that you find, go on YouTube, find something that resonates with you. Of course, you're probably on YouTube if you're watching this, right? Find something that resonates with you, and as long as it's good, solid content, the next thing that has to be in place is the repetition of that content. You're not going to master anything. You're not going to learn anything. Your sales professionals are not going to master or learn anything if they only see it or hear it one time. It has to be repeated over and over and over again. There's videos, there's training that I've gone through. Matter of fact, I'm taking a training right now, a challenge I'm going through, and I listened to the recording of the first day. It was an hour long, and I went back and listened to it 3 different times, and I picked up on something new every single time. Because let's face it, we're humans, we're distracted, and as strong as our intention is to absorb the information, learn it, take away, and use it, if we just hear it and we're just exposed to it one time, it's not going to do any good. We have to have that repetition. The next thing that has to be in play or in place is practice. If they're learning concepts and taking it into their sales conversations, or when they pick up the phone call, or when they prospect, just hearing it and thinking about it, or even verbalizing it once or twice is not going to make it take. They have to practice. So I invite you to create an environment for yourself if you're taking the training, for your sales team, for the sales professionals. Find an accountability partner and practice the stuff you're learning out loud, and dare I say, in a role play scenario over and over again until you become stronger at verbalizing that message or using that strategy or using that tactic. Because the worst thing you can do is practice new material or new ideas on a prospect who has the potential to buy from you and mess it all up, right? So there's got to be practice. So good content with repetition and practice. Here's the last thing that was missing that Brad told me about. He said, you've got to have accountability. The reason that Brad's awesome training that worked in the dealership and did not work for him outside the dealership when he went out on his own is because the accountability factor was not in play. Nobody was holding the salespeople accountable for what Brad was teaching them. And so it became very apparent to Brad that there had to be some form of accountability if it was ultimately going to take. And I've been an external sales trainer and performance coach. I've been an internal sales trainer and performance coach. Matter of fact, I serve right now in the internal capacity as well as having my own clients external. And here's what I hear all the time, and here's a buzzword that's happening in the industry right now. Show me the receipts. And I get it. I understand you want to see the evidence that the sales training you're doing is actually taking, and rightfully so. You should want those receipts. But here's the thing that is not going to happen. You see, asking for receipts before you have accountability is putting the cart before the horse. There's exceptions to every rule. Don't get me wrong. But if you're asking for receipts before you're holding people accountable, you're not going to get them. It's going to fizzle out. It's going to die. You have to have the strength and the leadership to be able to hold your people accountable to the good information with repetition, practice, and keep them accountable to applying what they learned, and then you start seeing receipts. That scared me. My neighbor just diffused something. I'm out at my tiki bar, by the way, and for those of you who don't know me yet, I shoot my videos at my tiki bar because my vibe is beach, tiki, fun, have a great time. My backyard looks like a vacation, and it's just a cool little vibe to share with you guys. So that scared me. You never know what you're going to hear out here, right? But the receipts are not going to come until you hold people accountable. And I can just give you a perfect example, case in point. I've worked with internal sales teams, inside sales, my apologies, and outside sales people. And I can give you an example. One of the groups that I worked with, the sales manager for the inside team was holding his people accountable for all the stuff that we were training and coaching them on. And their results went from as low as 20% to as high as 70% consistently. So when I showed up and started working with them, their show up rate whenever they booked appointments was only 20%, maybe even lower sometimes. Now they sit at 70%, and it rarely dips. Here's why. It's because we dialed in their messaging, good content, and we repeated it over and over again in practice, and then he held them accountable. And that's when it started to go up, and we started to get the receipts. Hear me. Receipts are not coming before you hold people accountable. It just doesn't work that way. It's not good training practice. It's not good training theory. And you can throw all the best. You can train your people with the absolute best content on the face of the planet. And if there's no repetition of that content, there's no active practicing in a role play situation before they get with the customer, and you do not hold them accountable, the receipts are not coming. And I know that because the external sales team in the same company, or the outside sales team in the same company, one or two people are starting to get results, but it's because they're driven and they're holding themselves accountable. The rest of them, it's inconsistent because leadership, quite frankly, is not holding them accountable. But they're begging for the receipts, and I'm sitting here telling them, until you start holding these people accountable, you will not see the receipts. But once you start holding them accountable, you get more receipts than you could even imagine. So again, if you're a sales leader, if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, and you're investing in sales training for yourself or for your people, please have those three things in place. I'll go to the beginning here. Make sure it's great content, and if I can help, right below here is a link where you can get some free training. Helping your sales professional or yourself sell more consistently, predictably, and profitably, and the 7 critical mistakes that salespeople make that keep them from closing more sales. So either or, I'll send you both. But make sure there's good content wherever you get it. Make sure they're repeating it over and over and over again until it sinks in. I mean, they are kidding themselves if they're trying to learn information and they're not going through it at least 7 or 8 times, because the brain just can't absorb everything and all the subtleties it needs to, especially if it's good content. They need to practice. Create a culture of role play. And it's very uncomfortable, salespeople, but it's so powerful when it's done right. If I could be of assistance, run over to sellingwithinfluence.com. Reach out to me. Perhaps we can help you to do that. But finally, that accountability. Receipts are not coming until you hold yourself or your people accountable. That's just the way it is, without exception. Well, there might be a few exceptions, but I wouldn't take that chance. And just remember, you and your salespeople can write their own ticket in selling. All you got to do is increase your influence. Make sure you have good content with repetition, practice, and accountability. That's what my mentor Brad told me, and he has a multi-million-dollar training brand that is still strong now. But yet I have sales leaders telling me that they want to see the receipts before they hold people accountable. And quite frankly, Brad could buy them as a pet. So I'm going to take his advice, and I'm going to double down on that. And I hope this serves you. Reach out to me if I can be of service. Have a great day.